Welcome back. More than 80% of Nevada is owned by the federal government, and none of it is more closely guarded than Area 51, an expanse of desert, dry lakes, and mountains about the size of the state of Connecticut. So what's going on at the base these days? Well, that's still classified. But Tom Hawley recently got about as close as you can get without top secret military clearance. And Tom, you found a location with a split personality.
Yeah, Jim, and the word I would use to describe the entrance gate is creepy, and that seems to be on purpose. But over the past couple of decades, anyone who's interested in the world's most advanced military and spy aircraft, or who has an interest in alien visitors and UFOs, seems drawn to Area 51.
A place that exists, yet it is so secret that there are many layers of speculation about what actually goes on there.
Bill Yuni is the author of Area 51 Black Jets, a history of the aircraft developed at America's secret aviation base.
You look back to the 1950s when Kelly Johnson's Advanced Research Projects component at Lockheed, known familiarly as the Skunk Works, when they were tasked with building an airplane for the CIA that could fly higher than anything had gone before and fly great distances in order to photograph the secrets of the Soviet ICBM program.
That was the U-2 spy plane, tested in secret about 100 miles north of Las Vegas. Its existence was only discovered when U.S. pilot Francis Gary Powers was shot down over the Soviet Union in 1960 and given a humiliating show trial in Moscow before being returned in a prisoner exchange. But it wasn't until the late 80s that News 3 and others obtained documents proving that the so-called Groom Lake at Area 51 was where the U-2 and other spy jets were fine-tuned, which also caught the attention of UFO buffs.
If you believe in that sort of thing, it was sort of a short stretch of the imagination to say, well, if they have these things, where are they going to test them? And that was the place they would. So that's how that entered into the mythology of the place.
A trip to Area 51 today usually begins with a stop at the Little Alien on the extraterrestrial highway in Rachel with its restaurant, bar, and tourist tchotchkes.
This is hanging out in Rachel. The Little Alien can have a shot right with you.
Owner Pat Travis has heard it all.
I don't care who walks in the door. We greet them, we talk to them, we find out who they are. And there are some people, when you sit and talk to them, you really feel that whether they have seen it for sure, but they really believe what they've seen. Here's your coffee, my dear.
Dennis Lingo made the trek here from Fresno.
You know, you watch all the TV programs about aliens and stuff, and Area 51 and all that stuff, so it just makes you interesting to come out and see.
Take my word for it, there's no Area 51.
That's not entirely accurate.
Because the government says there's not, and when the government says there's not, then you can bet that it is.
You can photograph the sign, you just can't wander behind it and snap pictures. You might think, well, what's the harm? Just go back a few feet, take a few pics, no one's looking. People are looking.
People who have crossed the line have met a very unpleasant reception.
They probably won't get that far, but they will be at gunpoint on the ground until the sheriff comes and arrests them for trespass on a federal installation. The minimum fine is $632.
Around the Area 51 perimeter, the tourists who don't cross the line and get arrested will see scary signs, some cattle, some alfalfa fields.
Reality is quite mundane, yet the reality also contains a lot of undisclosed secrets, so that always opens the door for interesting speculation and interesting discussions of aircraft.
If you accept as fact that there are no aliens, no intergalactic conspiracies, that doesn't mean what's on the other side of this gate isn't fantastic. We'll take a look at the reality to the extent we know it in our next report. From just outside Groom Lake, Tom Hawley, News 3.
All right, yeah, the aircraft tested at Area 51 today go far beyond the capabilities of the original top secret U-2 spy plane. Tomorrow, Tom will look at some of the space-age technology and how the extraterrestrial mystique of the base may be linked to the secret planes of Area 51's yesterday.